Steve Jobs and Apple have quite a cult. Whether lining up for days outside Apple stores to get the new iPhone first, or defending every questionable move from Apple, whether that's the removal of the headphone jack or the power brick. Apple fanboys support anything and everything that comes out of Apple. And this was really quite a wonder at the time. But today, the cult of Elon Musk is far larger than any cult Steve Jobs was able to accumulate. So how was Elon Musk able to grow such a positive and supportive cult? Before we get started here, I wanted to make it clear that I'm not trying to criticize anyone for admiring or looking up to Elon Musk. Personally, I look up to him as well and think he's a great role model. Aside from this, I think most of us here would agree that Elon Musk is one of the most important people in the world, if not the most important. With that being said, what I would like to discuss here is what leads tens of millions of people to idolize him to an extent where they block out all criticism of the guy. And it's not just me who's suggesting this, but Elon Musk himself. A few years ago, when Elon Musk was asked what is the biggest challenge of his life, here's what he said.
One of the biggest challenges, I think, is making sure you have a corrective feedback loop, and then maintaining that corrective feedback loop over time, even when people want to tell you exactly what you want to hear. Okay. That's very difficult. Yes.
So, clearly, even Elon Musk himself understands and acknowledges that his fan base is often extremely uncritical of him, so much so that staying neutral is one of his biggest challenges. And let's keep in mind that this is coming from a guy who has achieved some of the hardest technical feats in history. But what makes people feel so strongly about Elon Musk? Well, starting off, many fans believe that Elon Musk is the savior of humanity. There is definitely at least some substance to this belief, as Elon Musk is doing a lot of great things, from fighting climate change on multiple fronts to making our species multiplanetary. And to many people, these are the most noble and important battles to fight, as they concern all of us. No one is going to argue that fighting poverty or various deadly diseases is not significant. But at the same time, these issues are more concerned with improving the overall quality of human life. As sad as it is, kids in Africa and third world countries dying from poverty and disease doesn't actually affect the chances of human survival as a whole. On the contrary, many of Elon's fans believe that ignoring climate change and staying confined to one planet is a long-term death wish for our entire species. Though I do believe that Elon Musk is significantly helping us tackle these issues, I'm not exactly convinced that humans as a whole would go extinct without contributions of Elon Musk. This is because I believe that the overall human community will not let such disasters actually take place long-term. Humans have overcome many existential threats in the past, such as the Ice Age, which lasted a millennium. So, though I don't believe Elon Musk is the sole savior of humanity, I think there's no problem with strongly supporting a guy who has made great strides in many important fields. Moving on, Elon Musk comes off as one of the most real billionaires out there. We rarely see any emotions coming out of the wealthiest people around. With Jeff Bezos, the only emotion we see out of him is his quote-unquote maniacal laughing. With Mark Zuckerberg, you know the story. And with Bernard Arnold, well, most people don't even know he's at the top of the billionaires list. With Elon Musk, on the other hand, one of the most famous clips of him is him tearing up. And being able to see the emotional side of someone no doubt makes it easier for people to sympathize with them, which also leads to greater admiration when they succeed against all odds. Aside from this, one of the key proponents to his thriving fan base is, of course, his constant engagement with them through social media. Some people hate Elon's tweeting while others love it, but I think everyone finds it at least entertaining to some degree. And given that Elon tweets several times every single day, he's able to connect with his fan base on a regular basis, ensuring that his fan base remains strong. Anyways, next up, one of the largest reasons that many people have a crush on Elon Musk is because of the nature of his projects. Now, I'm not talking about the difficulty or importance of Elon's work, but rather the nature of Elon's work. Elon's projects are often compared to a kid in a candy shop, just pouncing at every idea that seems intriguing. Every idea he's working on is something many of us have dreamt about as a kid. Whether launching rockets into space, or visiting Mars, or inventing a car that can drive itself. And what about Neuralink? I bet many of us have dreamt about becoming as smart as supercomputers one day. Elon's ideas aren't the most unique or original, as such visions are common amongst many people, especially when they were younger. However, the average person matures and usually ends up working a 9-to-5 job and never looks back at the vision they had when they were younger. With Elon Musk, however, not only did he embark on these endeavors, but he has been successful with many of them. As a result, through Elon Musk, I believe many of his fans are able to fulfill their own dreams from when they were younger. Though it's actually not them achieving their dreams, they're excited to support someone who is actually working on making their dreams a reality. With that being said, I think a lot of the enthusiasm for Elon Musk comes from how his projects capture the kid within all of us. In the realm of succeeding in ludicrous innovations, something that's unique to Elon Musk is that his rate of innovation never slows down. Rather, it actually speeds up. This is in stark contrast to many of the other top innovators in the world. For instance, with Apple, we saw rapid innovation from the original iPhone to the iPhone 6. Every year, there would be something significant that people would want to upgrade for. After the iPhone 6, however, we saw a bit of a stall until the iPhone X, which came out 3 years later. And since then, we haven't seen very much innovation at all out of Apple. This can of course be partially attributed to the fact that smartphones have evolved to basically their final form. However, with the chosen fields of Elon Musk, there is really no final form due to the massive scope of his fields. With space, for instance, we have to first reach Mars, but though reaching Mars is extremely difficult, actually reaching Mars is just the beginning. After that, there's the extremely difficult goal of colonizing and terraforming Mars. If we succeed with this on one planet, why not extend it to other more difficult planets as well, like Venus or the gas giants? If we succeed within our solar system, then the next obvious step would be stepping outside the solar system and then our galaxy and so on and so forth. When it comes to the exploration and colonization of our universe, the possibilities are truly endless, which allows Elon Musk to never slow down the rate of innovation, as is common with most other innovative companies. And this rapid speed of innovation keeps the fans of Elon Musk constantly on the edge of their seats, wondering when the next milestone will be. And finally, the last major reason Elon Musk has been able to build up such an extensive community is that he doesn't do anything for the money. Rather, the vast fortune he has been able to accumulate is simply a byproduct. This is very evident in the fact that he started SpaceX and even got involved with Tesla in the first place. Elon Musk received $180 million from the sale of PayPal to eBay, and he could have called it a day right then. Most people would be more than satisfied with that amount and wouldn't even care to grow it. But even if Elon wanted to grow it further, there were many easier options available to him. He could have simply thrown the $180 million into the S&P 500 and called it a day. Given the 464% return the S&P 500 has produced with dividends reinvested over the past 18 years, Elon Musk could have upwards of $1 billion a day just by betting on the S&P 500. If he wanted to spice it up a bit, he could have just thrown $10 million at each of the rapidly growing tech companies in 2002, like Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, and Google, which were quite reasonably priced after the dot-com crash. Considering that Apple has grown over 400x since 2002, and similar returns or better are the cases with other top tech companies as well, Elon could have easily grown his $180 million to tens of billions today by doing absolutely nothing himself. But he didn't do this. Instead, he decided to risk it all with an EV and space company. Even today, he publicly releases many of the designs and innovations of Tesla and SpaceX for free to help the other EV and space companies push the entire field forward. And evidently, this causes many of Elon's fans to view his work as noble and wholesome, unlike the work of some other billionaires. At the end of the day, Elon Musk works on problems that affect all of humanity. He's very relatable, he fulfills our own childhood dreams, and he doesn't do any of it for the money. And this set of characteristics has organically grown a massive cult-like following for Elon today. And though I think many of the people in this group should be more critical of Elon Musk where it's warranted, considering everything we've discussed so far, it's no wonder why Elon's fan base is so strong today. Do you guys consider yourself a member of this cult? Comment that down below. Also, drop a like if you're convinced Elon is critical to our future. And of course, consider joining our Discord community to suggest future video ideas, and consider subscribing to see more questions logically answered. But until then, I'm Hari, and I'll see you guys on the next one.